Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and I'm about to do my June TBR for the second time. Anyway, I won't explain all of that. We're just going to get right into it. I will explain it at the end. If you really want to know, you can stick around for that. So, usually, what I do to create my TBRs is I look at all the buddy reads and the group reads and everything that's happening, and then I add a ton more books on the end of that, and then I get stressed out that I'm not going to be able to finish all the books, and I neglect everything else that I need to be doing to just read the books because they're on my list, and once they're on my list, they have to get read. So in the month of May, I did an experiment where I only had the compulsory books that I'm reading with other people or in groups. And then I just did a book as I finished a book. Like I would finish one and then roll in my Bookopoly board that I created on here. And then I would read that book, and then I would roll again and read that book, and so on through the month of May. So I did not have a big list of books looking at me in the face to decide what I was going to read. And that's the way I was going to continue to do it into June. And I've actually decided to change that up. And one of the ways that I'm going to be changing that is by rolling 5 rolls, and those will be the first 5 books that I need to read. Now, I do have some compulsory books for June, so we're going to look at those, and then I'm going to do my 5 rolls. The best part of June is that it is my birthday month, and I'm not the only one. I could not believe how many people have birthdays in the month of June. So it is David Wiley's birthday in June, and he has chosen Watership Down for me to read, which I've never heard anything about. I've never read it. And what's so funny is my 15-year-old is finishing up his freshman year of high school, and he's like, I'm reading Watership Down. I was like, hey, me too. So I'm not reading it till June technically, so he's going to finish before me, but I think it's cool that we're both reading it. Also, Ursi from Circe's Books, her birthday is in June, and she wanted me to read Wicked. I don't know anything about it, but it is the one that the play is based off of. I'm pretty sure anyway. And then there is Fina's birthday from Fina Reads, and she picked Project Hail Mary for me to read, which I'm really happy about that because that covers quite a few prompt things that I wanted to get to in the month of June. So those are my birthday reads, and then it's my birthday, and also it's Andrew's birthday from Get Right On In, and I didn't even ask him about a book to read, but his birthday is in June as well. And the reason I didn't ask him is because I read The Never-Ending Story a couple of months ago because it's his favorite book, and so I was like, if he makes me read The Never-Ending Story again, which I did not like the first time, anyway. I'm also already reading all the Wheel of Time books with Andrew, so I didn't ask him. I'm sorry, Andrew, but happy birthday. I sent you a present. That is it for the birthday reads. Now we're going to talk about the challenges that I have coming up in June. So there are 2 different challenges on Barb's Discord, the Off Your Shelf challenge. One of those is about NetGalley books, and the other one is reading the physical books that you own. And so there are prompts specifically for June for the books that you own, and then there are NetGalley specific bingo board. I'm not worrying about the NetGalley bingo board because it's for the whole summer, and some of those things will just get done as I fulfill other prompts. But I am trying to do her 6 June prompts that she has, and again, some of these overlap. So I do have Project Hail Mary on here for a book featuring a mode of transportation. Now I haven't read it, but I'm assuming if he's in space, there is some kind of rocket spaceship that gets him to space. So that's what I'm going for. Then I needed a book with yellow on the cover, and I'm going to do Practical Happiness. This is on my NetGalley shelf, and I need to get it done so that I can write a review. Most of these are on my NetGalley shelf. A book that makes you feel happy inside. I picked Solimar just because I love the cover of this. I have no idea if it's going to make me feel happy. I hope that it does. It also is on my NetGalley shelf. And then the last one on my NetGalley shelf says a book with sun, water, or sand on the cover. And this has sun, water, and sand on the cover. Good Girl Complex by L. Kennedy. So that also is a NetGalley pick, and I'm excited to do it. Then a book with anything summery in the title, like beach, sun, holiday, whatever. This one I feel like is not summery at all, but it's black sun and it fits the prompt. A book set on an island is the only prompt that I don't have fulfilled yet, and I'm hoping that just one of the books that I read this month will be set on an island, but I'm not sure. So I may have to move Good Girl Complex down if that's set on an island, and then try to find another book that has sun, water, or sand on the cover based on another one of my books. I don't know, but in any case, I'm not super concerned with it. It's just something fun to help us read through the books that we have on our shelf. Another thing that she has done is paired us up. Anybody who wanted to join gets paired up, and you give the other person, your partner, all of the physical books that you own, or all of the books that you own, and then they pick 15 of those, and you put them on a spinny wheel, and you spin, and whatever you land on is what you read. That sounds like a great idea. However, in the month of June, I am going to be not in a house. I'm going to be living with my parents for most of the month before we move into the new house. So I didn't want to carry 15 books with me. So what I did was I pulled up the spinner that my partner had created, and I just went ahead and spun 7 times. So I'm taking 7 books with me for the month of June. I'm definitely not going to read all 7 of these books, and I'm not worried about reading them. They're going to be like on the side, and as I finish one, I will start the next one, and that's how I'm going to go through this. So no pressure on these 7. I'm not going to really get stressed or worry about finishing them, and I really won't, because I'm putting them in a separate category. So my brain says, okay, we can take our time with these. So I'm going to show you those 7 books. And I actually have a clip of when I picked all of these and rolled them all. So I'm going to put that in here instead of me going over all of that again. So here that is. And I've already spun my first one. And I have them all, I have all the books. Here's all 15 of the books in case anybody wants to know. These are the 15 books that she picked. So I've already spun one time because I wanted to have my first book ready to go on June 1st. And I got Kindred by Octavia Butler. So it's ready to spin, and I'm going to spin for the next 6 books. So those will just be the 7 books that I will take with me. So let's see what we get. This Tender Land. Let's see. This Tender Land. This might be the one that I started reading. Let me see. This is the boys. Yep. Yeah, this boy is in an Indian, it's called Lincoln Indian Training School. I started reading this, and then other stuff got in the way and took over. I'm so excited that it's back on my list. Okay, I'm going to remove and then spin again. Okay. The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. Orquídea Divina. Okay, this is one of my Book of the Month Club books. I'm excited about that too. So far, these books are not that long. I'm really happy about it. All right, go again. Ooh, again. Oh, I'm getting such good books that I'm so excited to read. The Southern Book Cub's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I've been wanting to read this one for a while too. Remove, spin again. Ooh, The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch. That one will be easy to pack. It's small. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. 6, 7, only have 2 left. Oh, I got The Martian by Andy Weir. Y'all, I'm so excited about these books. Okay. And the last one that I'm going to take with me, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This could not have gone better. Okay, so I have these 7 books that I drew, or that I spun, or whatever, and I'm going to be taking those with me for the month of June, but like I said, not worried about getting to them in any kind of order unless they fall into another group. And so let's talk about that. Actually, let's talk about the compulsory reads first. There's only one right now, and that is, okay, other than the Wheel of Time books that I'm slowly reading with Andrew, I'm only reading one series with a group, and that finishes in July. So that is the Priest series. That is not what it's called. The War for the Rose Throne is what it's called. I have read 2 books, and then we're going to be reading the 3rd book in June, which is Priests of Gallows. I am excited about it because I love that. And so that might be one of the first audiobooks that I do. Also, something that could potentially derail some of my physical reading is that the 2nd book in J.R. Trass's series called The Rave. Well, so the first book was called The Rave. The whole thing is going to be a trilogy, and it's called the Elf Raver trilogy. And so I really enjoyed The Rave, and I took my time reading it, and I really had such a good time with it. So his new book, book 2, The Rebel, comes out on June 1st. That's the good news. The bad news is that it is twice the size of The Rave. So The Rave was 550 pages. The Rebel is 1,100 or over 1,000 pages is what I know. So it is also on Kindle Unlimited. If you guys want to check it out and you have Kindle Unlimited, go grab it. So that's one that I'm going to start on June 1st, and I'm just planning on slowly making my way through it, reading a little bit of it every day. The other book that I'm so excited to start with my book club. Okay, Skeeter's going to help me talk about these 2 books because she won't stop barking at people walking by. So this book, Nightfall by Daniel Barnett. Yes, I've already read it. Yes, I'm making my book club read it, and I cannot wait. So I'm taking this with me. It's not very long. I'm taking it with me. Book 2 is Lullaby, and I feel like as soon as we finish book 1, everybody's going to want to go to book 2, so I'm taking it as well. They don't take up that much space, even both of these books. And when I read this the first time, I didn't have the physical copies of the books, so I could not mark them up, but I'm going to be doing that this time. So I'm taking these with me as well. I'm glad we have a pretty big box to put all the books in. Okay, what else? I think those all are my compulsory / book club books and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do the rolls, and we're going to just do 4 rolls based on how many books I have right here. We're going to do 4 rolls on the Bookopoly board and just see what books I'm adding to the compulsory reads that I have. Okay, so in my last roll of the month, let me get to my board. In the last roll of the month, I landed on genre and I read a romance book. So that went right there. That's where I'm starting, and I'm going to do 4 reads, 4 rolls. And if by some miracle I get everything finished in the month of June, I will just roll again to see what the next book is that I read. But we're going to start right here, and we're going to roll 4 times. Okay, we have 11. Yay! That means Django gets to pick the book. So the good news is that I'm going to take these books that I want to read that fills prompts that I have, and I'm going to let him pick one of those. Okay, roll number 2. It is 1, 2, and 3, so 6. This is the TBR machine. Okay, so on the TBR machine, I got read a book by an author who is now deceased. So I'm going to count the Wheel of Time book that I'm reading with Andrew because I'm going to finish that in June. So that's going to be the one that fulfills this prompt. Read a book by an author who is now deceased. Okay, roll number 3. Wow, 13. Oh, that is the number 1 book on my story graph. I went over to my story graph, and the number 1 book, I already knew this because I see it all the time, but it's Malice by John Gwynne, which I'm so excited because that's also a book that you're going to hear about in a couple of days. So I'm excited that I get to read it this month. That's roll number 4, I forgot to say, but 11. Okay, and this is another genre pick. This is where we're going to leave it, and it is a classic. Okay, and then for my classic, I need to read Pride and Prejudice for an upcoming thing that you're going to find out about, and so I am also going to put that as my classic. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I read these 4 rolls in the order that I did them. so that no matter how long they take me, because again, this is not necessarily finish it in June. This is just, these are the rolls. And so no matter how long they take me, that's the order I'm going to go in, because that's the order that I rolled them. I'm just rolling ahead of time so that I can see what books are coming up, because I think that's fun. And also to get your opinion on these books. So I know plenty of you have read Pride and Prejudice. Just tell me if it's going to be good or not. Like, I'm worried about it. Classics are not usually my thing. I did read Jane Eyre, and I enjoyed the overall story, but it was just tedious getting me to the end of it. So that might not bode well for this. I realize that they're not the same, but they're in the same time period, and, you know, so anyway. I mean, at least I think they are. I have no idea. But anyway, also, I didn't comment on how purple everything is. I just happened to have on my solid purple shirt, and I just got a new cover for my new chair, my new office chair, and it's purple. So everything's purple, which, I mean, if you couldn't tell, it's my favorite color anyway. And so lots of purple happening around here. Not that any of that matters. Okay, I think that that is going to do it for my June TBR. That is a lot of stuff. And the main reason, if you've stuck around this long, leave me a book emoji, because I just got I'm taking a stack of books with me, or a scary emoji, because honestly, this is the ones that I'm looking forward to the most for the month. But we will see what else I find that I like. I mean, I am reading 2 Andy Weir books. I should be reading Project Hail Mary and The Martian. So hopefully I can finish both of those in this month. It doesn't matter if I don't. This is just a potential pile of books for me to pick from. Let me know how your May was. I still have plenty of videos coming out in June, even though I'm going to be not living in this house anymore. This is the last video that I'm filming in this house. But I've already filmed a ton of videos for June. So they'll be coming out every Wednesday and Friday, and then every Monday is going to be my weekly updates about where I am in the world. So thank you for following along, and thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.